Hello, we're back. Welcome to Football is Live. And oh my days, what a week we're having in the Premier League this week. Incredible midweek football, and in the last 2 days, 2 managerial sackings. Madness, what is going on? Yes, teams that are struggling, but is that just Premier League football? What these days where clubs and owners just push the panic button? You know, we can say enough is enough, but in the Nottingham Forest one, the madness continues. 4th manager this season and constantly just looking for a quick fix. But we'll come on to that. But I mean, what a week in the Premier League football, English football. It's gone a bit crazy this week. It's gone a bit mad. It's what we love. It's why we talk about it. It's why we come on. So yeah, follow the channel. All right, I'm back. I got my vitamins. All right, we're ready to go. It's a big one, so vitamins on board. Getting the vitamin C in. And I mean, I'm out and about, and you just get the news, and you're like, that's something to talk about. This is going to be something to talk. There's always something to talk about in English football. We've got the race for the Premier League, for getting managers, things that are happening all the time. So always a good chance to come on camera, which I love to do, and see everyone. I hope everyone's all right out there, having a good week. Second episode this week, and episode number 8 already for the channel, which is madness. When I started and people were saying, you know, you're going to do a football channel, your enthusiasm for football, get online, get talking about it, give your views. You know, it could have, I never thought it would carry on, but I'm loving it. It's carrying on. Episode 8, another big episode. So we got the midweek games to conclude and have a little look at, some strange results, some good results. This is being filmed before the Arsenal game, so can't comment on the Arsenal match, but yeah, so far so good this week. And then obviously the FA Cup kicks in. We got no Premier League action this weekend. Boo. But we have got FA Cup and a few interesting games to look at there. So let's roll into the episode. Please like, comment and subscribe. It's free to just subscribe. Just subscribe. All right. Keep looking out for my content. Keep commenting. If you don't agree with what I say, let me know. If you agree, let me know. It's all good feedback, and we want to just keep the journey going. Football is life. Come on. So we talked him up last week, and we're going to start with maybe not the, you know, we'll ease into the games here a little bit. But I just want to pull out another player from the games, another goal, all right, for Bournemouth this week in a good result away from home. Everton, aren't they, away from home, looking good, solid. David Moyes got them set up at home. They can't quite, when I suppose it's on you to force the game and put the input in and on the front foot and dictate the game at home, it's not quite happening for Everton, which is why I think they're struggling. But I just want to talk up Ryan again. I mean, I thought he looked good in the game that I watched on Saturday. I tuned into Bournemouth specifically because I wanted to see Ryan, because physically I just thought, wow, they've not brought up a young, you know, swindly lad in from Brazil that needs time. He looks like a physical specimen. And he scored another goal. I didn't give away the penalty, but he looks a player already 3 games in. I mean, imagine after 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, like, you can see why they've slapped a release clause on him. So I want to keep talking up good players, because Bournemouth, you're probably saying, look, stay quiet, Craig. Don't talk him up. We want to, and you know, you've got, if anybody wants to buy him now, it's big money, but it's great recruitment from Bournemouth again. I mean, Semenyu's done brilliant at Man City. Is it 5 goals in 8 starts? I mean, what a start. But with clubs like that, you have to look to know what is the next Semenyo, what is the, you know, the next player that's going to help us. So brilliant pickup, I think. I'm predicting big things for this lad. Like, I remember when Chelsea got Estavio, I was thinking, he could be top 3 in the world. Like, he could be just a sensation. But this lad comes in as well, and he looks like he really is going to be a big hit. And you won't be surprised if he goes to a massive, massive club. I mean, he's 19. So what a start for him, and a little shout up for him, definitely. So well done, Ryan. I'm looking forward to watching you. Another one then, we've got to go the topical one, if you like. It's not topical for Man United, but the guy can't get his hair cut. I mean, he must have thought, now's the moment. Does he want a haircut? Obviously, he's got I'm sure, a bit of fame out of this, and it's been clever on his part to say I'm not getting a haircut until Man United win 5 in a row. But 4 games in a row, surely everyone thought they can go to West Ham and make it 5. I spoke about it in the last episode, but Man United don't lose at the minute, and I think that goal at the end from Sesko, they kept going, kept trying. Big goal at the end of the day, and yeah, the haircut's a bit of fun, and it's a sight, but I just thought Carrick will be cutting his hair Wednesday morning, but didn't materialise. But another point for Man United, and they keep that run going, not losing games, and and they'll keep going by the looks of it. But yeah, West Ham in good form, good for a point, and yeah, I suppose a draw was actually a predictable one. We predicted a few right ones, few right sides this week, so that's pleasing. But the West Ham one, yeah, Man United, I thought maybe they'll get a win there at West Ham, but no, left it late, and big goal late to deny West Ham and Nuno, who's really got West Ham in a better position massively. So a lot of good things happen. I wonder if Nottingham Forest feel like should have never let Nuno go, but one of those things, isn't it? And that's Forest at the minute. We've got Newcastle as well. Eddie Howe, he's come under a bit of pressure, Eddie Howe, this week and last week. And, he's had to come out and make a statement and comment saying, look, if I'm not the right man, I'd move on. So just those comments alone, you can tell there's a bit of pressure there on him. And you could see the celebrations at the end. And I mean, we're going to come on to Tottenham and Forest, obviously, but a massive win for Eddie Howe, massive win for Newcastle away from home, and Tottenham's troubles continue. And obviously, we know what's happened with Spurs on the back of that result, but it just looked big for Eddie Howe, big for Newcastle, a much-needed win. So I wanted to give a shout-up to the Geordie boys because, yeah, big club, proper fans, and got their result. We know what's happened to Tottenham, but massive result, takes the pressure off Eddie a little bit, and if there was any pressure, there shouldn't be pressure on these managers yet anyway. I mean, he's done a marvellous job and he deserves time. You can look at Dyson Frank. Yeah, it might not have gone well, and Spurs, I get it, but do these managers need to be given more time? I mean, just the money, I suppose, of staying in the Premier League, you can't take the risk. You're looking for that quick fix unless you make a long-term kind of development plan where you're doing well as a club with lots of results over a prolonged period of time. So, clubs that are not finding that just keep swapping the managers, and whether it works or not, I don't know. It can work short term, but long term, surely. You've picked the guy, they know what they're doing, they've got the credentials, give them time, surely. But yeah, a big win for Newcastle. So well done the Newcastle boys. And 2 more that I just wanted to touch on was obviously a big result for City. Now, City looked good. I think it was the 3rd goal, that the counter-attack. Fulham have got a terrible record at the Etihad, and players like Semenyo look good. Foden comes back in. Haaland finally gets a goal in open play, and City just looking like they're clicking a little bit there, and that's good signs for the future for City, I think. And I think this year, if it's too soon, we don't know if it's too soon yet. They're definitely coming. Pep looks, he looked pleased when the goals went in. You could just read it like, yeah, this is the City of old. This is, the players are starting to click. And yeah, Fulham, not a good day, obviously, and they don't do well at the Etihad historically. Tough place to go, and City's rolled them over simple, and it keeps the pressure on Arsenal. That's what I wanted to say is, City win, it's a big win before Arsenal play, then it puts a little bit more on Arsenal tonight. So it's a big win. The magnitude of the win is big. It keeps the pressure on, and now they can only wait and see what Arsenal do tonight. But Pep, City, looking good. Semenyo, big signing. I mean, it just looks a world-class signing. And, I mean, if you can get 5 goals in your first 8 and you're settling into a club, what's it going to be like in the future with Haaland and Semenyo and Cherki and Foden and providing them. And Nico O'Reilly, again, looking great in the great in midfield. And now that's probably given England a thought of, could he play in the midfield too? So, Lewis Hall can definitely be picked at left back for England, and they might use O'Reilly as a midfielder. So more pressure on the midfielders for England with O'Reilly looking so good in there. I know he played there in his academy days and then he slotted in at left back at the start of his City career, but he does look good in midfield, and you can see why. He's a bit of a powerhouse. Like, I don't want to compare anyone to the great Yaya Toure, but if you're looking at Man City and you're looking for box-to-box power of a player that can defensively do their work, mobility to get up and score like O'Reilly can. So, I never set out to speak about O'Reilly today on this episode, but it sprung into my mind, and I just think he deserves a shout as well. He's been exceptional with City, and yeah, he looks a really good player for England, a good player for City, but City in a good place. So, Arsenal, over to you. And then I just wanted to touch base on Liverpool, really. After losing at home on Super Sunday, it could have been really easy to have a hiccup at a team that's not lost at home. And Sunderland, your proud record is finally undone by Liverpool. And, law of averages, it had to happen at some point this season, I guess. But well done to Liverpool. It's not an easy place to go. Sunderland pressed in like mad first 20 minutes. And, Liverpool really had to earn the right to play a little bit in that game. And, it's a solid performance. It still shows that Liverpool to be reckoned with. And Liverpool needed it. Like Van Dijk we were speaking about the other day, he does pop up with vital goals like that in little 1-0 away wins. But Liverpool needed that massively with Chelsea stumbling and Leeds doing well, and getting a result at Stamford Bridge, and, Villa bounced back. So, well done to the Villa, but Liverpool needed that for top four. So massive, massive win. Now we're going to go on just to the madness of the last couple of days. We've rounded up that. And the first one is obviously Thomas Frank losing his job at Spurs. The less surprising of the two sackings that we've had in the last 2 days. I know, I've listened to the radio, I've seen things that Tottenham fans, I asked the question, should you have given Thomas Frank more time? I think he deserved the chance to manage a big club after what he did at Brentford. I know he's a nice guy, but sometimes in football, a nice guy doesn't get you very far. But it's cutthroat, and by what I can kind of read into it is that Tottenham fans agree with it. They were very unhappy with Thomas Frank. And I think it's not so much that they weren't getting the results, and I think they would have given that time if they saw a style of play, but there was no style of play coming through from Thomas Frank or identity so Spurs fans could relate to, right, I know this is what he's doing. We might not be getting the results yet, but we can see an identity of the way it's going to go, and we're going to back him. So it was curtains calling for weeks. I think they've been thinking about it for weeks, and that was the final straw against Newcastle, and sadly he's removed. I hope he gets a job in football quick. I think he's a top manager. He'll do a top job wherever he goes. He hasn't done it at Tottenham, but I think he'll come back into the game. And could he go straight in at Forest? I mean, you don't know. I know they're on about Victor Pereira because he's managed Olympiacos in the past, and that makes sense. But there's some managers out there available who could be attracted to Tottenham, no doubt. But do they just appoint someone till the end of the season? Harry Redknapp's throne is ringing the hat. I'd love to see Harry. I love Harry. I'd love to see him, even at 79. Just to do the last few months. But the word is Pochettino. Can they get Pochettino back? I'm sure Pochettino will come back. Now Levy's kind of stepped down. I'm sure it'd be like a new start, but to come back, he's the guy that Tottenham fans respect, even though Ange got a trophy. But Poch did put them on the map. He developed the whole football club. Champions League finals. He got them regularly top four and put them back on the map. So I can understand that. He understands Tottenham. So Poch for the summer, I think, is going to be a defo. But I'd love to see big Harry Redknapp in there until the end of the season. That would be great to comment on. No transfer window, which is gutting for him to work his magic, but that would be a good little fix. So yeah, Tottenham fans, I think you want him out. We don't have to say too much more. The writing was on the wall for Thomas, but hopefully we see him back in the Premier League, because I do like Thomas Frank. So that's an interesting one. And then get the vitamins in. The next one is just one that I understand, because I think the owner is just... He's so... Well, I was going to say unpredictable, but he's predictable in the fact that he just gets rid of managers. And is volatile the right word? Unstable the right word? I mean, he pumps the money in. He's the owners. I get it. Owners have a responsibility. It's my football club. I'm looking after the fans. We're not in the position we want to be in. So I'm going to keep... But does the keep on repeating of managers and hiring managers get you anywhere long term? For me, no. And I'd cast that opinion that I don't think it does. I think you should get a manager in. We could go all the way back. I think Man United should have stayed with David Moyes. Like, even if it was Futsal, they should have give 5 years and then say, right, okay, it's not working. So I do think Forest are just balmy for the way they pressed the panic button. And I feel a little bit sorry for Sean Dyche. Like, he knew what he was employing. Sean Dyche is not there to give you pretty football playing from the back. He's there to use the players he's got to make you compact, make you hard to beat. Like, he had a 40% win rate in his first 141 days in charge. He's doing well in Europe. Like, it wasn't catastrophic by any means, and he still could keep Forest up. Like, it's other teams that have got to do the chasing, and I know West Ham are coming, but like, surely you'd think we're only at the beginning of February, maybe 5 more games and then see, like, at least another 5 league games, and then, but obviously whether anything's happened or whether it's just the owner cannot get on with anybody, maybe employ a Greek manager. I mean, that, could that work? I don't know, but somebody that maybe has a better relationship or can build a relationship with the owner. So yeah, Sean Dyche is gone. Who's going to come in at Forest? Who's going to come in long term? Because I think even Forest could do an interim manager and then maybe just look towards the future. But don't know. It's balmy. And when I hear this, I'm like, oh my days, that's going to be something to talk about. And yes, that's the Premier League, isn't it? It is balmy at times. I'm using that word a lot, but yeah, if I was the owner of those clubs, I don't know if I'd have pushed the panic button on either as quick. But the Thomas Frank one, you can understand more. So yeah, let us know your thoughts, comments. All right, keep engaged. Tell me what you think, Forest and Spurs fans. Have you done the right thing? I know I'm reacting to this on a Thursday, and obviously Thomas was on a Tuesday, but I woke up to the news of Sean Dyche. I was like, right, I've got to get straight on and speak about these. So yeah, interesting times for both clubs, I think. And just a couple of other things. We've got a who is better, a spicy one today, an interesting one that of 2 players that have just entered the Premier League. So that could cause a bit of comment. But the other one, I just wanted to just his reaction and his disbelief on his face as he stood in the net was Cole Palmer's miss late for Chelsea. Now, we've talked Cole Palmer up. Everyone talks Cole Palmer up. Top player, generational talent, future England star. He already is. Do you know what I mean? He's a great player. But that miss, if you give him that chance 100 times on a training pitch, on a match day, just law of physics and your body moving in like that to score, it's almost impossible to miss and get that ball up and over the crossbar. And it's just one of those freakish things where it flashes across. He's dangled a leg. It looks almost shin paddy, actually. And it's, total disbelief and 2 points lost. And just his reaction was class. It was pure Cole Palmer personality of just like, does that really just happen? Does that really just happen? But hey, that's life. It's football. Football is life. It can happen. But yeah, just a moment that I didn't want to let go by without giving my reaction of, we've all been there. It's happened to us. It's happened in soccer sixes. It bounces off your leg. It's one of those things. And I don't think his technique was wrong or anything like that. It's just bounced up and sprung out into the crowd. So a funny moment, but not for Cole Palmer, obviously, and not for Chelsea fans. But yeah, 99 times out of 100, that's going in the net, and it's a late winner. But like the manager said, they shouldn't have been in that position to be relying on that so late on. But pressure mounts late on in games when you get those chances. It becomes increasingly bizarre and harder to find the net as the pressure mounts. That's what it is. So yeah, unlucky Cole. And then the next one is a spicy one. Straight away, I'm going to go now. As it stands now, all right, and we can talk about the money they've paid or the talent they've got. Who is better, Ryan Cherky of Man City or Florian Wirtz of Liverpool? I know. It's a good one. When I mentioned to someone that I'm gonna bring this up, they're like, Cherky. And I'm like, really? Like, yeah, he's better. Because of the money that's been spent. I said, look, I know Man City have got a bargain, but you can't relate the money that they've paid. Cherky, Wirtz has probably been doing it a little bit longer, Cherky at a higher level. So that's what he's got on his side. But, I'm a little bit in like, I love Florian Wirtz as a player. Like, I love watching technical number 10s like that, get on the ball, little flicks, linking the play, adding the goals and assists. Like, he is a class act. But, I just love watching Ryan Cherky. I mean, Man City fan or not, all right? You could be a Man City fan watching this saying, yeah, Cherky all day long. You could be a Liverpool fan watching this saying, Wirtz all long. You back your man. I totally get it. But I'm looking as well for the neutrals that are out there that just love their football, support another team, but you're big enough to say, yeah, I enjoy watching both of them, actually. They're both class. Like, who are you going for, Cherky or Wirtz? This isn't stat-based. I'm not going stat-based. This is worth a debate. If anybody out there says it's not even a debate, you're wrong. I'm sticking to my guns here. It's close. It is tight, and it's the tightest one maybe we've done yet. But my hat is in the Ryan Cherky. I'm on the Cherky bandwagon, all right? I'm sorry, Liverpool fans. Wirtz is amazing. You've spent a lot of money on him. I do think Man City have got an absolute bargain in Cherky. Who's going to be the best player? Who's going to have the best Premier League career? Because I think they're both here to stay. The only one I can see is Wirtz being more homesick and going back to Germany to a Bayern, and that could happen. So that could be a little, possible in this debate. But I'm going Cherky. I just enjoy watching him that tad bit more. I think he's just a better player with slightly better feet, and I think he's a big player. So I'm going Cherky over Wirtz. Can't believe it. And then obviously we've got no Premier League. So today, to round up this episode number 8, all right, like, comment and subscribe, is FA Cup action. Now, some of these FA Cup games, I mean, I don't want to be out there. I don't want to be silly and just picking silly upsets for views or viral clicks or viral shorts. I'm not about that. I'm not going to come on here and say, Salford are going to win at Man City, and then everyone says, I want to stick to my beliefs and my opinions, and people can agree with it or not, but there is some games, and there is always some banana skins in the FA Cup. We've seen it with Macclesfield. We're not covering them because they're on Monday night against Brentford, but they could do it again. You don't know. Nobody knows. That's the beauty of predicting. It's near on impossible, isn't it? But I'm going to stick to, if I think a Premier League team are going to go through, I'm going to say it. There'll be too much. We've looked in some of the rounds, and it's too much. Like, some Premier teams are beating lower league teams like 7-6, 7-1, and they should do with the money and the team. Like, I think you've got more chance in the FA Cup of winning if you're at home. So we're just going to rattle through these. I've picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just 7. Just going to go with a score, but I'm going to try and outline it for you if it's on the telly and what day it's on. So it should be good. I love the FA Cup. Just but second to the Premier League is the FA Cup, isn't it? And the drama it gives. And we love an FA Cup weekend. Unless your team's not playing or it's gutting if you're out, or another team in your league still in the cup and your game gets rescheduled. It's you're fuming. I know, you're like, another Tuesday night game. I want my team to play on the weekend. But there's some good telly games, and I think the telly are not daft. They pick the games where they think there could be a banana skin. But yeah, here's my thoughts anyway. So first one is an interesting one. Friday night on the TV. Rosenior going back to Hull, and you can see why they picked it. Hull are doing well. Hull v Chelsea, but Hull fans, I'm sorry. I just think Chelsea will be too strong, and I don't think we're going to see the upset there. I could be wrong. This could come back to haunt me. Obviously, it really could, but I just think Chelsea will be too strong for Hull. I think Hull will give a good account, but I'm going Hull 1, Chelsea 3, Chelsea safely through to the next round. And that's on Friday night on TV to catch that one. And then on Saturday, we've got a couple. We've got Burton v West Ham. And again, another TV one. And you think, wow, have they done it because they feel Burton could be, a real banana skin? And with West Ham prioritising the league, you could see rotations. So this is the one that you could see a banana skin, possibly. I don't think I'm going to back a full banana here. I can't see it. I've actually seen Burton this year in a game and had some feedback on them randomly, and I don't think they are a great team or good enough to maybe cause this sort of an upset. So I do fancy West Ham, even with rotation, to sneak it. All right, but I think Burton could get a goal and have a moment. So Burton 1, West Ham 2. West Ham safely through. Man City v Salford now when the draw come out, the Salford owners, they've got a bit of money, haven't they? But Man City away in the cup is like a dream draw, isn't it? It's good for your budget. I think they've been there in the past and got hammered, I'm sure. And City don't let up on these sort of games. When it's a trophy like Pep, the strength and depth that City have got, they do not let up. And they beat Exeter, didn't they? 10-1, sorry, in the last round. So I can see another big score, but I don't think it'll be the 10. But I can see City getting 6 or 7. We'll go 7. 7-0. Sorry, Salford fans. Hope you still tune in, but it is City away. Come on. Could be a good day out, but 7-0. City safely through. And then we go Saturday night. 2 great games on Saturday night. 2 Premier League FA Cup ties. So tune into them. I know it's Valentine's Day, chaps and lasses, so it could be difficult. You might have your Valentine's Day meal deal in the oven and not being able to watch the football. But if you're not doing anything for Valentine's, tune in to these beauties. All right, it's Aston Villa v Newcastle, first one in the evening. So great game, good FA Cup game, and I'm going Villa to do a professional job on Newcastle. I know Newcastle fan, they have more in the crowd, it'll be up for it, so it's not going to be easy, but Villa 2, Newcastle 1, Villa safely through, and then Newcastle just having to concentrate on Europe and the league for the rest of the season. And then we have Liverpool v Brighton. Yes, Liverpool v Brighton, 8 o'clock kickoff. And again, I think Liverpool were going to show their experience here. Anfield, Saturday night. Brighton, I think, will struggle. And I think Liverpool will go through comprehensively in this one. I think it could be a 2 or 3. Let's go Liverpool 3, Brighton 1. Just let's go for goals late Saturday night. And then on Sunday, we have 2 that I've picked out, which are, I believe they're both on tally. I'm not sure about the Arsenal one, but a real banana skin. This could be the one where we just go for it a little bit. And I know Leeds are good and in a good place, but I think they're going to rotate slightly, maybe not. But they're away at Birmingham early on the Sunday on telly, and I just think Birmingham are going to be right at it. So I just think Birmingham at least will get a replay. So if I'm wrong here, I'm sorry, but let's go for one crazy banana. We've got to give one banana skin for the FA Cup or I wouldn't be doing my job. So I'm going to go Birmingham 2, Leeds 1, and Birmingham through in the FA Cup. Sorry, Leeds. Sorry. You're having a great season, but Birmingham, I think you can just do this one. And then Arsenal v Wigan, straightforward. Wrapping up the episode. 5-0 to Arsenal, even with rotation. Gabriel Jesus, hat-trick. Get on Gabriel Jesus for a hat-trick. And yeah, I think that'll be a walk in the park for Arsenal. Sorry, Wigan, but a walk in the park. All right. That wraps up the episode, okay? I'll be back next week. Make sure you tune in. Look out for my episodes dropping on YouTube. All right, and my socials. All right. Follow, like, comment, subscribe. It's free to do. Nice to see you all. Keep safe out there, all right? And I'll see you on the next episode. Cheerio.